subscribe so you can hear that bell ring. Yeah.
BLA. Calvin, we got one. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Royal Rebounds, a Sacramento Kings YouTube channel for fans by fans. And I got some echo going right now. Hold on one second. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Royal Rebounds. If you're a Kings fan, make sure you smash up that like button down below. And please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. Calvin, are you getting some feedback?
No, actually, it sounds great.
No.
On my end.
All right. What's up, guys? We are back. All right. What was your thoughts on the game, Cal?
Well, I think the question that everybody wants to know the answer to is, did you buy a Keegan Murray jersey during this game, and do you love him more than Tyrese Halliburton?
Oh, man, he played exceptionally well. I'm going to pull up the stats here. Give me 1 second. Dude, what a good win, man. Wow, it feels great. Feels really good.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as great of game one as you could possibly ask for, right? Like, it is just the preseason, and the Lakers didn't play a few players that you expect to get a bunch of minutes on this team. But look, I think you have to love what you saw from the Kings. Everything that I wanted to see: effort, intensity, defensively, spacing and movement on offense. You know, they didn't shoot very well as a team, but that, like I said, you know, when you asked me, I think it was a week ago or so, what I was going to be looking for in the preseason. You know, when you asked me, I think it was a week ago or so, what I was going to be looking for in the preseason. You saw what Mike Brown, I think it was a week ago or so, what I was going to be looking for. Like I said, you saw what Mike Brown, it was a week ago or so, what I was going to be. Like I said, you saw what Mike Brown, questions players well as there with stars. That sort of thing. This is what this time of the year is exactly for, that, right? To figure all that stuff out. So
Definitely. Well, it's official. The Kings win 105-75 over the LA Lakers. And it feels great, Calvin. It feels really good. Really good. All right, so Sabonis played 15 minutes tonight. We had KZ started, played 10 minutes as well. 16 minutes for, double echo. Hold on 1 second, guys. We're having some issues here. I can hear myself talk. No. All right, is that better? I can hear myself talk. Can you hear me, Cal?
I can.
Right,
I wasn't experiencing any issues. I apologize to everybody else out there, but I can.
All right, I think I got it fixed here. So, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. I apologize. We are testing out some new streaming software today. As you might have noticed earlier, if you were watching, we had the game on, not the real footage. I wish we could show that, but we had the ESPN footage of the game showing the score and everything. We're going to try and do that for every Kings game this season. So if you guys aren't able to watch the game, at least you can get on there and hang out in the chat with us, and then we will all be back. Calvin, I'm a little bummed I didn't get to watch this game because it's blacked out for us here in Hawaii. We are considered in the Lakers area, I guess. So we weren't able to really watch the game, but we were able to follow along as we went. So, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that.
Calvin,
I apologize. First thoughts on the game.
Well, I think I kind of already touched on that, but I know there were some audio issues, so I'll just quickly reiterate what I said. It couldn't have been a better start for Sacramento for a preseason game, right? To go on the road, win by 30, basically not have to worry about playing anybody meaningful to you late into the game. And they did exactly what Mike Brown has been preaching that this team was going to do all summer long. They were going to compete defensively. They were going to compete internally, right, for spots on the team. We saw that right away with, the question of should Keegan Murray have started or not. I think we'll talk more about that, obviously, as the season goes on or as the preseason goes on. But this Kings team, they performed really well outside of shooting the ball a little rough, right? Especially in the beginning there. The second half was really, really fun to watch, though, if you were a Kings fan. So you have to be feeling pretty good about where they started right now. The shots are going to fall. I don't think anybody needs to be hitting the panic button yet. De'Aaron Fox, that's definitely something to keep your eye on, right? Because he got off to a really slow start last season as well, offensively. But this team is deep like they said they were. And if they continue to compete defensively and keep themselves in games, things are going to work out, I think, in their favor more often than not.
Yeah, it's interesting. We watched the end of the game together, and I asked you, Calvin, is this game or is this win more about how good the Kings are or how bad the Lakers are? And what did you say?
My response was the Lakers are a mess. This team is in disarray, I think. It is one game. It's a preseason game. They didn't play guys like Lonnie Walker and Dennis Schroeder, but I think that they're in a very, very difficult spot if this is what it's going to look like for them moving forward. And if they don't figure out a way to trade Russell Westbrook to get them a little bit more help, this team is not deep at all right now. They have all these questions about who's going to play what position, what the rotation looks like. You can argue that the Kings have a lot of questions to answer about that stuff themselves. They're way more set right now in terms of what the team looks like, who to play where, than the Los Angeles Lakers are. This is a team that, with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you're always thinking championship or bust, right? This team is very, very far away from being a championship contending team in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, they got no bench, right? So they got to do something. I've been talking about trading Russell Westbrook for a while. But anyways, back to the Sacramento Kings. It just feels good to win a game. I know this is preseason. You don't want to get too high, but it always feels good to beat the Lakers, especially in LA, at the Lakers' home. But yeah, Kings get a victory. Want to give a shout out to everybody here in the chat and everybody watching. We appreciate you all. So shout out to Fred, Guy, Richard, Alfie Man, JN. Awesome. Brian, thank you guys all for joining us. Nate, we appreciate you all for hanging out. A lot of familiar names from last season. And if you're new to the channel, welcome in. Calvin and I are just two crazy Kings fans, and we love talking about the Sacramento Kings. So we will be live for every single post game this season, or as much as we can, even preseason, as we are tonight. But I just kind of want to go over the scores here. As I mentioned, Kings win 105-75. The starters tonight were Sabonis. We had KZ starting, Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron Fox, and Kevin Huerter. They all played between 10 and 16 minutes. 10 points for De'Aaron Fox, 4 rebounds, an assist, and 4 personal fouls. Then off the bench, we had the star, Keegan Murray, 21 minutes, 16 points, 6 rebounds. We had 16 minutes for Richaun Holmes off the bench, 10 points for him. Definitely good to see him in action. We got to see a little bit of Terrence Davis tonight, 9 minutes for him. He didn't play exceptionally well, 1 for 6 shooting from the field, but he is coming back from that wrist injury. It's just good to see him on the floor. As far as the Lakers go, Anthony Davis played 16 minutes. We weren't sure if he was going to play tonight. Seems to always be injured. Maybe he did have some nagging injury. I know he had like some lower back pain or something like that. 16 minutes for him tonight, 11 points, 11 rebounds. 16 minutes for LeBron James. We got to see our old friend Damian Jones starting at the center position, 21 minutes for him, 1 point, 4 rebounds. We got to see some Russell Westbrook out there tonight. We got to see him cradle the baby when he got past De'Aaron Fox for a layup. Didn't really help them. 20 minutes for Nunn starting. And then another former King, Wayon Gabriel, 20 minutes for him tonight. And then look at that bench. I recognize Patrick Beverly, Austin Reeves, Scottie Pippen Jr., and a bunch of trash here, Calvin, for the Lakers.
Yeah. Well, again, no Dennis Schroeder in this game, no Lonnie Walker. They have other players on this team, but I do think that the Lakers are in the middle of a pretty they're just not in a good spot right now. They have this Russell Westbrook thing hanging over them, and it's definitely going to be a hangover effect as long as he's around.
What's up, Charlie? Good to see you. Alex, good to see you as well. Cal, you want to talk a little bit about the slow start? Because I see some people here in the chat talking about how the Lakers starters looked good. And they were actually beating the Kings early on in the game, right? And then you and I talked about the third quarter and basically the second half, right? Once the starters come out, the Lakers have absolutely nobody, and the Kings were able to take advantage. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Kings did get off to a slow start. They did not shoot the ball well at all, but they got good looks. I mean, that is really, I think, what you have to have as your underlying takeaway here. They didn't fall tonight, but we have confidence in Malik Monk as a shooter. We have confidence in Kevin Huerter as a shooter. Keegan Murray did shoot well tonight. They've got the floor spacers. Harrison Barnes can shoot much better than this. Kings fans absolutely know that. So I'm more focused on the style of play. There was a lot of great movement off the ball, really good cuts. When you have a guy like Domantas Sabonis in there, your offense has to have some of that off the ball movement around it. I really liked the way they freed up De'Aaron Fox off the ball at times so he could get drives to the basket. They accomplished, I think, what they set out to do outside of the shots falling, right? So it's the first game. It's a road preseason game. Let's give it some time. I'm sure that the averages will start to even out there. But in terms of actually how they were operating on the court, I thought they looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a confidence booster for them, right? Coming into this year, there's a lot of question marks around how good the Kings are going to be. It's only one game. You have a brand new head coach. How is this team going to mesh? All these new pieces. I wouldn't say that this was a must-win game, but it definitely helped the Kings a lot on the confidence end, getting some things to work, right? And ends up with a victory. Yes, it's against the Lakers, which always feels sweet. And, like I said, the bench played pretty much the entire second half. So it wasn't against LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, or anything like that. But we'll take wins whenever we can get them. And, sometimes you just need to get some moral victories to lead to real victories. And I'm really excited with the Kings here. Did you notice anything, like a Mike Brown impact on this game, or is it just way too early?
You must have been reading my mind, because that is exactly where I was going to go next. The Lakers came out attacking the basket very aggressively early on in this game, and it looked like maybe the Kings weren't quite prepared for it. 12 quick points in the first 3 minutes, a lot of easy looks at the rim. But Mike Brown takes a timeout, kind of settles guys down. Maybe it was a little bit of nerves or first game jitters. I don't necessarily know. It could be a variety of things. But I think that you saw Mike Brown's impact defensively there. It immediately got better. It's not world championship level yet or anything like that. But, Luke Walton, for example, I don't think you would have seen something like this from a Luke Walton team. So I do think that you could tell Mike Brown is having an impact on this team. The question is, how much of an impact is it going to be, and how quickly can he get the team to play at the level that's needed for them to be a playoff team?
Yeah, and speaking of Mike Brown and coaching, what are your thoughts on the starting lineup that they sent out there tonight? No one would have expected KZ to start this game. You and I talked about Kevin Huerter, who's going to start at the 3, but Keegan Murray came off the bench. I know a lot of Kings fans expect him to start this season, or potentially Rashawn Holmes start. Any thoughts on this starting lineup that they sent out there?
Well, I don't think it was what anybody necessarily expected, unless you were reading some of the tweets from guys like James Ham and Matt George, who have been at Kings practice and have seen KZ playing with the starting lineup the past few days in practice. But I do think that this is a good move. I mean, if we get into, 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season and KZ is still starting, the Kings are struggling, and Keegan Murray is still playing at a really high level off the bench, then I think you definitely have to adjust your look or your focus as to what the rotation should be like. But it makes a lot of sense. Like, the power forward position is up for grabs. Some people are saying that Keegan Murray's not ready to play the power forward, so why not have him come off the bench as a 3? I think it helped Keegan Murray's confidence to kind of, work him in slowly, maybe not have him go against LeBron James right away. He was able to come in and get off to a good start. And look, KZ is known for his defense, right? So that's one of the biggest areas of need for this team. For one game, I think there's nothing wrong with doing this. This is what this time of the year is for, figuring these things out. So for now, I'd say it's totally fine. But again, this will definitely be a topic of conversation, for the Kings for the first half of the year, probably.
Yeah.
Who's the
definitely.
right starting lineup?
Definitely. Shout out to Jeff the Lefty and Sass. Neil, thank you guys all for joining us. Sass says Barnes looks bad. Did you feel the same way, Calvin? I mean, 1 for 5, 16 minutes tonight, missed all of his 3-point attempts. He took 4 of them. What are your thoughts on Harrison Barnes? And keep in mind, guys, we were not able to actually watch the live game. We stuck with it. We watched, what was happening, but we were not able to watch the live game because it was blacked out, unfortunately.
No, I mean, I don't think you can really make an argument against that, right? He didn't play well. He didn't have a good game. And Harrison Barnes, over the years with the Kings, that's been the thing with him, right? Like, at times he looks phenomenal. He has great shooting games, but he's not able to do it consistently over the course of a full season. So he didn't shoot well tonight. I have faith that he will play better than this going forward. But, it's been a topic of conversation for a long time, and I've said multiple times this summer that I don't think this is going to be Harrison Barnes' last season in Sacramento.
Wow. Looking at the team stats here, a couple things that really stood out to me. First off, both teams shot horribly. The Lakers shot 31% from the field in this game. The Kings shot 40%, 23% for both teams from three-point range. The Kings shot 12 of 19 from the free throw line. That's only 63%, which is just above what the Lakers shot. But the Lakers, they shot, 13 more free throws in this game. The Kings were able to out-rebound the Lakers, which is important. That's one thing that you and I had talked about over the past few seasons that they really needed to work on, right? It was defense and rebounding. But the thing about rebounding is it doesn't matter how good a defense you play if you allow offensive rebounds over and over again. So very, very happy to see the Kings get 15 offensive rebounds, 39 defensive rebounds in this game. They're able to out-rebound the Lakers and actually stop possessions and get on to doing their own thing instead of just constantly, trying to stop the Lakers. So that's always good there. As far as assists go, 25 assists for the Kings as opposed to 17 for the Lakers. And then steals is where it really shows up. 14 steals for the Kings tonight, only 4 steals for the LA Lakers. And turnovers as well, which is part of that steals category. 7 turnovers for the Sacramento Kings, 23 for the LA Lakers. You want to see them shoot a little bit better, but if the Kings can win, the turnover battle, if they can win the rebound battle, they have a good shot at winning a lot of these basketball games. They really do. They just got to work on that shooting percentage, Cal.
Yeah, again, it's one game. It's the first game. They haven't played a real basketball game in months. It's pretty typical to see guys come out and struggle to shoot right away. So let's give it some time.
What's up, Key Kings? Good to see you here. Oh, Charlie's got another hard-hitting question for you, Calvin. He says, what is Davion Mitchell improved on? Still looks pretty mediocre as a bench player. Man, this is Overreaction Monday on steroids, Calvin.
Well, Kings fans haven't had any basketball to watch in a long time. So, of course, all of these takes and opinions are going to be flying, and a lot of them are going to surround Keegan Murray, wanting him to start. Look, I thought Davion played well defensively in spurts. Nobody outside of Keegan Murray who was really efficient had a good game offensively. Yeah. So that stuff, again, let's play some more games and see how it looks.
Yeah, and I mean, when you shoot that bad as a team, right, everybody had to play bad if Keegan Murray shot 7 of 11 and 50% from three-point range. So, oh man, it's crazy. I'm just looking at this bench here. It makes me so happy because I'm looking at all these names here, and we got some ballers coming off the bench here. Kent Bazemore, happy to have him back. Trey Lyles, Metu, Len, Holmes, Keita, Cook, Mitchell, Davis, Monk, Dellavedova. Like, this bench is stacked, man. It really is. It really is. Like Sass says here, the Kings look like they got depth. The Lakers, not so much. And it just feels good to have a bench, man, because that really has hurt the Kings as well over the past few seasons, right? Where, maybe the starters play well and then the bench ends up getting blown out. So it feels really good. It'll be interesting to see kind of as the dust settles here, which guys get cut, who remains with the Kings, who becomes a starter. Kind of everyone's going to fall into their position here, I feel like, over the next couple weeks. Anybody, I know it's only one game, Calvin, and it's tough, right? Like, we're talking about Dellavedova. He only played 9 minutes in this game. How do you really judge a guy on 9 minutes in a preseason game coming off the bench, right? But is there anybody that really stuck out to you that you're like, okay, this guy needs to start, or this guy needs to be maybe like the first player off the bench, or is it just way too early for all that stuff?
Well, I think it's a little early for that, but look, Keegan Murray is the guy I think that it has to impress the most in this game, right? And he played kind of exactly how I expected him to, but he still is the most impressive player, I think, in this game. I just love his demeanor. He's never too high. He's never too low. He is so smooth. His catch and shoot game is beautiful. I think that if he ever cracks the starting lineup this year, it's going to be like bread and butter for them with movement off the ball, him coming off of a pin down screen for an open three. He should have so many of those opportunities. But then you add his versatility defensively. He really looks like he fits the bill for this team, which is very encouraging.
Yeah, he really is. To me, he's like the next Kawhi Leonard, right? He's just so quiet. His demeanor is ideal for a basketball player, right? Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I've been saying for years, Calvin, that the Kings need a guy who's going to be taking that last second shot and hit those game winners. We saw Harrison Barnes do it a few times last season. We saw Metu and a couple other guys have their moment. I really think Keegan Murray has got the demeanor to be that guy to take that last second shot and drain it. I really, really do. I think he needs to be a starter for sure, but it is early. Like I'm saying, it's still early. We got 3 more preseason games. We basically got the whole rest of the week off, right? Because the Kings don't play till Sunday against the Blazers. But a lot of positives to take from this game if you're Sacramento. Definitely a lot of positives. I'm excited to hear from Mike Brown tomorrow, see kind of how they're feeling, some things they're going to work on this week, because Mike Brown was watching this game, right? And he's like, yeah, we're beating the Lakers. We win by 30. But as a head coach, especially a guy like that, where you're coming and trying to change a culture for a franchise, he's not celebrating this win, right? He's happy they won, but he's like, okay, I didn't like this. I didn't like this. This is what we need to work on. This is what we can do better, because this is a preseason game against the LA Lakers. You played against their starters for 15 minutes. He's a realist, right? And so I expect him to come back. And I think that, you improve a lot by making mistakes. The Kings were able to get a victory in this game, but I still think they learned a lot, and there's a lot that they can improve on over the next week. So definitely excited for that. Brian says Slim Duncan. I think that would be a great nickname. Calvin, one thing I wanted to bring up, since we got about 60 people watching here, I don't know if you're all Kings fans. We only have 30 likes. So if you are a Kings fan, don't forget to smash up that like button. That helps Calvin and I get a feel on how many Kings fans we actually have here in the chat. So make sure you hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. But Calvin, we got to see your guy play today. Ben Simmons, dude, was on the court. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because Kings fans have been asking about Ben Simmons for, it feels like 2 years now. But you want to give your thoughts on Ben Simmons here?
Well, look, I'm just happy for Ben that he made his way back to the court. I did think it was pretty funny. I actually texted you right away. I turned the game on, and as soon as the game comes on, I saw Ben Simmons at the free throw line, and he misses 2 free throws, gets booed by the fans at home. This wasn't even a game in Philadelphia. So it was that was really funny to me. I'm sorry to poke fun at Ben Simmons, but again, just happy that he's back playing basketball again. And just like we're preaching, with this Kings performance here, let's wait, let's see what happens after they play a few more games. Ben Simmons did look really good on defense. That's what he's there for, to help this team out with. And I think the Nets are still in a good position as of right now.
Yeah, it's almost like a situation that just like builds and builds and builds. And for a guy like that, right, that's been saying that he's having mental blocks and issues getting out there, like the anxiety for each game or month that he misses has got to be building up greater and greater. But I think it's hilarious that he plays his first game of the preseason against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Nets lose. No Embiid, no Harden, just Tyrese Maxey and a bunch of bench players, and they end up pulling up the victory over the Brooklyn Nets. Very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, great game for the Kings overall. I'm just looking here. Keegan Murray led the team in points with 16, led the team in rebounds with 6. I saw someone in the chat saying that Delly was, running the point better than Davion. Davion Mitchell led the team in assists. I know there's only 3, but still, I'd like to see a little bit more than that. But Davion Mitchell's, he's doing his thing, and he's out there for defense, right? It's kind of the same thing last season, right, where he had a bad shooting game and everyone's like, oh, Davion Mitchell, is he really the guy, and all this. And it's like, that's not what Davion Mitchell's here for. Davion Mitchell is to play hard defense, to make it tough on other guys. When he scores, that's bonus. That's addition. And I think that he will have that officially added to his game here soon, like be a consistent scorer, but it takes a little bit longer. And I'm totally happy riding on the defense until the rest of his game catches up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Trait Fox, Ben Simmons fan. Yep, he is stoked. Who's Terrence Dixon? Is this someone related to Fred here? Same old song. Who are they going to blame next? Oh man, that's funny. What's up, guys? Thank you all for joining in. I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys doing tonight? Are you guys celebrating? I know it's late, but it's a win for the Lakers, or a win over the Lakers, which is always sweet for us Kings fans. If I'm the coach or the players, I'm not celebrating, but as a fan, Calvin, I am ecstatic, dude. I'm celebrating this game like I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, dude. Like I just won the NBA championship, dude. This is legit, dude. Another victory for the Sacramento Kings. Fred says, no relation, but great name. Yeah, Fred, we'll have to get you and Terrence or Terry Dixon together so you guys can meet. Maybe you are related somehow. Also, Calvin, while we have everybody here, I'll let you break the good news. I don't think we've broke it here on Royal Rebounds, have we?
No, we probably have not. Well, before I say anything, Trait Fox for Ben Simmons. I do like Calvin Harris's music. I've seen him live a couple of times. It's a good show. Absolutely. He wears my name well. But for anybody who's going to be at the season opener, the home opener on October 19th against the Portland Trailblazers, Barry and I will officially be in the building. I am actually going to buy tickets to the game after this show. For anybody that's been watching the last couple of weeks, our travel plans were kind of up in the air due to work and a bunch of other things. Mom and Dad, if you're watching this, I haven't told you this yet. I was kind of hoping to surprise you. Surprise, I'll be there for my birthday. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if anybody is planning on going to that game, please hit us up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and hopefully we can link up at some point and hang out and watch some Kings basketball.
Yes, we'll definitely be there for the first game, and then we'll be hanging out in Sacramento after the game. And the next two days, we will be in Davis. Maybe we'll make another trip to Sacramento, but we'd love to hang out with you all, so make sure you hit us up. Instagram or Twitter is probably the best way. Also, you can email me if you go to our YouTube channel here. You'll find my email address. We'd love to get a beer with you guys, talk about Kings basketball, and just hang out with some awesome Kings fans, because that's what we're all here for. Man, Calvin, dude, I got like some jitters, dude. This is the first game of the season. We're back live. The Kings got a win here. It feels good, dude. I mean, I just want to let all you guys know that are watching out there. We appreciate you all so much. But this is actually pretty hard, right? Like when you just decide that you're going to cover your team for a whole season, it gets difficult, right? There's the ups, there's the downs. The beginning of the season is so exciting. Everybody's watching, everybody's excited. Then it kind of goes through this lull, and towards the end of the season, you're eliminated from the playoffs. You're still going live, talking about stuff, but we still had material, right? The last 2 months, we've had not much material, right? The Kings signed they signed like 2 or 3 guys. They traded for one, and they drafted one guy, and that was the entire material for the last 2 months. So it feels great that we have some actual NBA games to talk about. We will be live after every single game. Also, want to remind anybody that's watching that is more than a Kings fan, that is just a basketball fan, or if you're a Calvin and Barry fan, we do have a second channel. It's called Basketball at the Bar. You can click on the link just below this channel. It's an affiliate channel. We cover the entire NBA. I'm going live every single morning. Well, my morning, since we're here in Hawaii. It's going to be 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time every single morning, covering all the NBA games that happened the night before and previews of that day. Then we're going to be live every single Wednesday night for Wednesday night parties on that channel. That's going to include after Kings games. We'll do a short video on here, and then we will move over to the party on Basketball at the Bar, so make sure you guys check that out. Also, we are giving away a Fanatics gift card for $250. So if you have not entered in to win that gift card, just head on over to Basketball at the Bar after this video, please, and enter in to win that contest. We'd love to see what you guys buy with Fanatics, right? Because prices are going up, man. I just bought some gear on Fanatics the other day. It's crazy, man. A football jersey is $180 now. It's just absolutely wild. Inflation is a MFer, Calvin. It really is. It really is. All right. Anything else you want to talk about this game tonight, or should we talk about the rest of the schedule?
Well, I just hope, this game one of a preseason schedule, right, needs to be more about the big picture than the fine details. I mean, obviously, go back and break down all the film you want. Watch the sets that the Kings are in. I really, like I said at the top of the show, did love the off-the-ball movement. Mike Brown has been talking recently about not being so dependent or reliable on the pick and roll, and I think that's a good thing for this team. They've got guys who are good at catch and shoot, but the off-the-ball movement stuff was really, really great to watch today. And again, the effort defensively was there. So big picture, this is a good start for the Kings. Let's keep building on this. Let's not worry too much right now about the shooting struggles or the fact that the Lakers didn't really play anybody for most of this game.
And guys, chill out on the Murray stuff, man. Just chill out, dude. It's the first game for this guy. Chill out. We all want him to be a superstar. We do. But just give him a little bit of time, man. We don't want to put too much pressure on this guy early. He played exceptionally well. We all have high hopes, but just pump the brakes a little bit here. It is first game. Game.
His time's coming, though. He's going to be a very, very good player in this league for a long time.
Yeah. I love you. You're a Kings fan. Yeah, we are Kings fans. We are Kings fans. No headbands for Herter. Too obvious to where he is at. Oh man, that's hilarious. What'd you think about Herter tonight? Because you and I talked about the addition, right? Some of the players that he played with in Atlanta coming over here to Sacramento as well. What are your thoughts overall on Herter, what you saw from him tonight? And then kind of give everybody your take on whether you think he will be the starting shooting guard this season or not.
I do think that the position is his to lose. His size, his shooting, I think it just trumps a little bit of Malik Monk. They're very similar styles of player, and neither of them had an exceptional game tonight. Neither of them played a ton of minutes. The starters were out pretty quickly, So again, the shots will start to fall. I think that's the underlying message here. You got to keep your faith in these guys that are supposed to be phenomenal shooters. Everybody struggles from time to time, and I do think that he will be the starting. Kevin Herter will be the starting shooting guard come October 19th.
Do you see any situations where the Kings start Monk over Herter? Is there like a matchup that you see or you envision like a prototypical player where you're like, okay, it's time to throw Monk out there? Or is Herter just like my fantasy football starter, right? I have my guys where I'm like, okay, this guy's a starter every single week. And then I have my players where I'm like, okay, this is a situational matchup. Or is he just kind of your starter for the foreseeable future right now?
I personally don't like the idea of tinkering with the lineup game to game based on matchups. And like I said, Malik Monk and Kevin Herter are very similar styles of players. They're really good shooters. Monk's more athletic than Kevin Herter is, but Herter's a little bigger. Neither of them are defensive stoppers. So I don't see there being too many situations during the season where you're like, oh, well, this game we definitely need to start Malik Monk over Kevin Herter because we're playing such and such team. They provide the same type of thing for this offense. So like I said, I do think that Kevin Herter will be the starter day one. I don't see it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility that Malik Monk wins the job. But Kevin Herter makes more money. It makes a little more sense for him to be the guy going forward. I think the bigger question is how are the Kings going to stagger the rotation, stagger the minutes more so that Monk and Fox get on the court together? Because that, they've got a lot of chemistry together. They certainly have talked a lot this offseason about how much fun it is to be playing with each other again. And in tonight's game, the starters didn't really play that much at all, so you didn't really see much of that stuff. I'm curious to see how Mike Brown works that into the rotation moving forward.
Oh man, you guys are ridiculous with these chat names that you guys use. I love you says y'all lucky LeBron went 0 for 7. I don't know about that. Did you see the final score? The Kings won by 30. Even if LeBron went 7 for 7 on 4-point plays, you still would have lost by 2. So I don't know if 0 for 7 for LeBron would have made a difference. But pretty wild that LeBron didn't make a single shot in this game, right? What do you have, 4 free throws and that's it?
That's it.
Anything to look into there? Is LeBron getting old, Calvin? He's getting old. He's not bald. Should he shave the head?
Yeah. Give LeBron a little bit more time. I think he'll be fine.
So you're on this point right now where the Lakers need to trade Westbrook, right? Because I've been on that
they have to
for a while.
They absolutely have to. They've got such a giant mess in their backcourt rotation right now. It's not a good situation for them. They need to move on quickly, and they need to get a little bit more depth.
I mean, who should be the starting point guard on this team? You like Beverly? You like Schroeder? You like Nunn?
I have no idea, and that to me screams major problem.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I'm really surprised. LeBron James just re-signed with this team. I think it's official. He wants to end his career with the Lakers, or at least he wants to break the record with the Lakers, right? The scoring record. But I've been hearing that LeBron's been in Anthony Davis's ear about, this is your time, right? It's time for this to be Anthony Davis's team, and LeBron is not going to be the primary guy. I think Anthony Davis got that message tonight, 11 points, 11 rebounds. The dude is a terrific player, right? He just needs to stay healthy. That's the thing. He needs to shoot the ball much better than he did last season. He made 2 threes tonight. He talked about having some injury issues last year that affect his shooting ability. But yeah, this Lakers team just does not have enough at all, dude. Even if LeBron and Anthony Davis are playing like superstars, you hit it right on the head. There's no bench on this team. And the fact that you can't even identify who the third best player would be on this team if Westbrook was traded, there's a lot of red flags coming up for this Lakers team. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hold on, I gotta unhide this message real quick. LeBron glues his pubes to his head. Yeah, we can show that. Why not? All right, Calvin. Let's move past this game. As beautiful as it is to win over the LA Lakers, right? Let's move past this. Let's talk about the rest of the schedule. One more dig at the Lakers. Look at that 30-point loss for the Lakers. Wow. And you see that? Kings are 1-0. All right, moving on here. Calvin, we got almost this whole week off of Kings basketball. The next game is on Sunday. Should we go live for this? I think this would be an interesting post game. You and I, we enjoy our Sunday football at the bar. Football starts here a little earlier than it does on the West Coast. It starts here at 7 a.m.
Just a tad.
When's daylight savings? Is that 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I don't think that's till November, but
November.
I could be wrong.
I'm always horrible about that stuff. Anyways, if you guys do not know, we do not have daylight savings here in Hawaii. So as soon as daylight savings kicks in, it's only a 2-hour difference instead of 3. And football will start here at 8 a.m. instead of 7 like it does. So make sure you stay tuned for Sunday's post game because we're going to have a lot of fun. We're definitely going to have a lot of fun. Calvin's got the hair down. Maybe I can convince him to take some shots on stream. How many likes do we need for you to take a shot on Sunday, Calvin?
On Sunday? Sunday. Let's see. We've got 47 right now, so we'll say 65.
Neil, you're out of control. All right, 65 likes on Sunday, and Calvin's taking shot. Hey, I'll take a shot on stream too. Why not? Marcus, I've been in Hawaii for about 12 years. I'm originally from Davis. Calvin and I grew up together in Davis. Big Kings fan for a long time. And Calvin, how long have you been here now? Is it 5 years now?
I just had my 4-year
4 years
anniversary, if you want to call it that.
Wow. Time
4
flies.
years.
Time flies. Neil, why are you retracting messages, man? I thought that was a great one. Oh, we got I hate you and I love you now in the chat. This is great. This is really good. All right, sorry. I was on a little bit of a distraction there, but back to Sunday's game. October 9th versus the Portland Trail Blazers. This will be the first home game for the Sacramento Kings of the preseason. Unfortunately, we will not be at this game. However, we will be at the game 10 days later on the 19th, right?
Be at
against
the real
the
deal.
Same team. What are you looking forward to in this game? What do you think about the Portland Trail Blazers so far? And what are the Kings' chances of winning this game?
I think the Kings have a good chance to win. I mean, it's early and teams are definitely not playing these games to win, right? Like you're not playing your starters 40 minutes a game. So again, I'm just looking to see that the Kings build off of the stuff that they did well in this game. I want to see Keegan Murray continue to play well, continue to shoot well. I want to see the defensive effort continue to be high. Contesting shots, closing possessions out, rebounding, and I want to see the nice spacement and movement offensively. Like I said, the shots will eventually fall. So I don't think you can be too upset or worried about that as of right now. It's early and it's one game, and then continuing to watch these battles for rotation positions, starting positions, minutes. Who's going to claim the starting power forward spot? Who's going to be the first guy off the bench? It was Trey Lyles at that spot today. I didn't think he looked very good. Maybe Metu gets a little bit more run off the bench at the 4 spot in this next game against Portland. It's just we're going to continue to see how Mike Brown tries to figure out the pieces of the puzzle here.
Oh, man. You guys in the chat are cracking me up. I'm trying to pay attention to Calvin, and you guys are just having way too much fun here. I mean, The Blazers are dealing with some injuries, right? How long is Shaedon Sharpe out? Is he still out for like 6 more weeks or something like that?
I don't have an official injury report on him, but I don't expect him to play anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely not playing in this game. I think the Kings get a victory here on Sunday. I really do. First game back at home. I think the Kings are probably one of the only teams that are taking this preseason really, really serious. I'm looking at the schedule. You know, the Phoenix Suns looked absolutely horrible last night. They lost to a team from Australia. There's all sorts of drama going on there with the owner, with Ayton, all that stuff. And then we wrap up the schedule against the Lakers again, who have absolutely no bench. It is the last game of the preseason, so do the Lakers play their starters more, or do they play them less because they're getting ready for the regular season? But Calvin, I'm going to throw this out here. I think the Kings go 4-0 in this preseason. I really do.
Wow, 4-0. That would be nice to see. Of course, it doesn't mean anything, but it would still be nice to see. And Kings, I'm curious to know, did you watch any of Shaedon Sharpe? I had no idea that he was healthy enough to play. If so, how did he look?
Did he play today? I thought he was out for a while.
According to our friends in the chat, he did play today.
I will definitely look this up.
Know.
Shaedon Sharpe. Here's Damian Lillard says Shaedon Sharpe would have beat him one-on-one, huh? Wow. Wow. How's this guy? Wow, that's dirty. That's dirty. Dude, what did I miss, dude? I could have sworn this guy was out for like 6 to 8 weeks with an injury. That's weird.
Must have been 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe, huh? Time flies when you're in Maui, I guess. Wow. Well, we'll definitely see what happens.
Well, we'll be looking forward to watching him play on Sunday because he's one of the biggest mysteries of this draft class, right? So
everyone's looking cute in the chat. Man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Didn't we go 4-0 last year in the preseason? Yeah, I mean, that's last year, man. Quit living in the past. Quit living the past. Right? You can't be living in the past all the time. I might as well show everybody while we're here before we wrap it up. If you guys haven't checked out the team store, you got to check it out. We got some cool gear in here. This is for Basketball at the Bar, our other channel, All NBA. This is the shirt you guys want right here. End the streak. 16 seasons. We got the years on there. It fits great. Make sure you get one. I think we all need to wear these to the first game. Calvin, I think we only got one, so I think I got to order one more for you so we can all wear these shirts to the first game. Check out RoyalRebounds.com if you guys are interested. Let's end the streak together. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
Together, rise up and overcome, right?
5X. No, we only got 4X, man. I'm sorry. But we could stretch it out for you. We could definitely stretch it out. Calvin, your thoughts on Trey Lyles playing with Keegan Murray?
Look, I didn't think Trey Lyles played very well tonight. I think Keegan Murray can play well with anybody. His game works really, really well out there with anybody on the court. So I don't really have too much to say about the two of them specifically together. But I think Keegan Murray is a great fit for whatever lineup he's in with this team.
Neil says we need to get some underwear with that on it. End the streak. Neil, I don't think that's the streak we're talking about. But that's funny. That is definitely funny. I see we have some KZ fans here as well. Sass says he's better than Lyles and Metu. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, this is a very, very small sample size. I definitely saw some moments last year where I saw Metu and I'm like, this guy is incredible, right? And then there's other moments where he just looks lost out there. And I guess you could say the same thing for Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles finished the season incredibly well. I love everybody that comes from San Antonio because they're all very fundamentally sound. But it's good to have all these different options. It really is. I think that's going to be a huge thing for the Kings this season, is they just have all sorts of different options. They're deep. They can play all different styles of ball, and I think they're going to really be able to adjust to matchups, right? I think one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to as far as Mike Brown is going to be halftime adjustments, right? That's one thing that I didn't really see from Luke Walton last year, was early on in the season, right? And then once Alvin Gentry took over, there wasn't a lot of mid-game adjustments, right? Where you go in at halftime and you're like, okay, this is where they were killing us. Let's make some adjustments. It was almost the opposite, right? Where the Kings just got absolutely annihilated in the third quarter. So I'm really excited to see what Mike Brown can do for this team, but just having the ability to have all these different players and you can plug and play them in different positions and really take advantage of matchups and stuff like that, I think is one of the things I'm most excited for this season. What about you, Cal?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And I do like KZ as a player. Look, this team has been so bad defensively for so long, and having those guys at the 3 and 4 that are good sized but very versatile and can switch off, guard multiple positions, it's essential to being a good team and winning in this league. So if KZ can carve out that role on this team, I only see that as a benefit for Sacramento, even if it means that Keegan Murray is coming off of the bench for the entire year. I'm okay with that for right now, because this team doesn't make the playoffs if they don't drastically improve on the defensive side of the ball. I do think that the starting lineup with KZ at the 4 in there is a little interesting, just because of all the additions that were made to this roster in the offseason, right? It was all predicated around floor spacing and outside shooting for the most part, with the big names that they went out and got. And if you don't start Keegan Murray at the 4, having Sabonis, Fox, and at times Harrison Barnes out there with Kevin Huerter, that's not a great outside shooting lineup. So you kind of have to pick and choose your battles, right? And hopefully Fox or Sabonis can improve in that area this season. But I do find that interesting, right? Because it seemed like that was one of the main goals of this offseason from a roster standpoint, and you're kind of moving a little bit in the opposite direction with that starting lineup. But I'm all for making the improvement on defense first and foremost.
Yep. That's one thing that the Kings just haven't been able to figure out during this entire streak, right? Is just defense. We had many seasons where the Kings could score. They had incredible players. They could just light it up. We had Kevin Martin, Marcus Thornton, Isaiah Thomas, just a bunch of guys that could absolutely light it up. And it was always the defensive end of the floor. It seemed like as soon as Ron Artest left, like the defense left Sacramento, which is quite unfortunate. It really is. All right, couple more things to talk about here. I touched briefly on it, but I want to hear your thoughts on Terrence Davis. Coming back, only played 9 minutes tonight, 1 of 6 from the field, missed every single one of his three-point attempts, 4 points tonight. What are your thoughts on Terrence Davis, Calvin?
Well, I think it's very early to have any, like cut and dry or consensus decision about what Terrence Davis's role on this team is going to be right now. But I was a little concerned for him when they started signing all these guys in the offseason, or trading, rather, for guys like Huerter and Monk, and adding all these forward wing positions. They have been very thin at those positions in general, but Terrence Davis is really a guard. I mean, he will probably only find minutes on this team playing the 3, which I'm not sure is the best position for him. So it's going to be interesting to see. He certainly has there are a lot of things to like about him, right? And he played really, really well for Sacramento at times last year. But I see him struggling to crack big minutes on this roster at the moment.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kings here, where Terrence Davis always seems to kind of struggle in the beginning, but once he gets his reps going, he really does start to get going. It'll be interesting to see how long that really takes him. But I thought you have a great point, Calvin, because there's not going to be a lot of minutes on this team, right? Depending on who plays well and who doesn't, you got guys like Kent Bazemore, who had been with the Kings in the past, played well with the Kings, went on to, win a championship with the Golden State Warriors. You have a lot of guys here kind of in that 2-3 area. We went from a team that had absolutely like no wings last year to having a pretty stout bench and a lot of depth at the 2 and the 3. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets some minutes. I definitely think he makes the squad. And guys,
I think he'll be on the final roster, definitely.
Don't forget, last season, there were games where we saw 6, 7, 8 guys out due to COVID and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
COVID has not gone away. It has not. So we could see kind of a resurgence here where guys are out for 4 or 5 days at a time, and guys like Terrence Davis can step in. So I think this is going to be a huge benefit to the Kings, is having guys like Terrence Davis, Kent Bazemore, Quinn Cook, that are just ready to kind of go in and play. These are professionals that they don't need to get ready, man, because they stay ready. Right, Cal?
We certainly hope so. And another thing for Terrence Davis that's not working in his factor right now is if Keegan Murray is going to come off the bench and play the 3, at least to start the year, that's going to hurt Terrence Davis's chance of playing.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Charlie's coming in with a negative comment here. Is De'Aaron Fox even fatter and less explosive than last season? I would disagree, Charlie. Funny, what was it, 2 episodes ago, Calvin? We were playing the clip from training camp, and I accidentally played the clip from 2021. And I'm like, wow, De'Aaron Fox looks really big. And I'm like, oh, wait, wrong video. Switch over to 2022. Dude, he is much leaner than he was last season. And that's not a bad thing at all.
He definitely does look a lot leaner than last season. Yes.
Yep. What's up, Tito? Tito wants to know your ideal starting 5. I would assume this is of the current Kings players, so no LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal. But Calvin, go for it.
You mean I can't pick from the Legends roster in NBA 2K? No, I mean, I'm still, as of today, I'm still in the boat of the starting 5 that I've been saying ever since Keegan Murray was drafted. And that's, or I guess ever since they traded for Herter. And that would be Fox, Herter, Barnes, Murray, and Sabonis. That is my ideal starting 5.
I like that. I mean, the only changes that I would potentially make would be, I don't know, man, depending on matchups, right? If you need to throw Rashawn in there, maybe bring Keegan off the bench. I could see a situation where you maybe start Herter at the 3 and Monk at the 2. You move Sabonis to the 5, and then that's really if you have an injury or something with Harrison Barnes or Keegan Murray, and you can only have one of those guys, right? But I think I agree with you, Calvin. I think that is probably the ideal starting lineup at this time. All right, man. We've been going live here for a little bit. I want to hear from you guys all in the chat before we end the show. I don't know if you guys noticed today or not, but before the post game started, I kind of had a little graphic on the screen going during the game, showing the scores, showing what was actively happening play-wise. If you guys like that, let me know in the chat, or if you want to watch the video afterwards, let me know down below in the comments. I think I want to do that before every single post game. I want to show, the game on the screen, get you guys ready. We can all talk together in the chat, interact, have fun, and then as soon as the game's over, we'll go right into post game. So if that's something that you guys want, let us know. We're here for you guys. Also want to remind you all that we did set up a phone number so you guys can call. Sacktown Pete is not on the phone right now, but you can call in this season. This is the fan line, 916-562-1130. I'm not answering the phone tonight. It's late, but put that in your phone book. Save it in your phone, whatever you do, your Rolodex, whatever. Save that number, 916-562-1130. We're going to have people calling into the show this year. We'd love to hear from you guys. All right, Calvin, I think that's about it for me. Anything else you want to mention before we end the show here?
Just glad to be back. Glad to see everybody in the chat. Hope you guys enjoyed the game tonight. Hopefully we have a lot more of these games to talk about in the future. Go Kings. The season is upon us.
The season is upon us, and not the one you're talking about, not the one with the annoying decorations at Walmart. The King season is upon us. Fred, we will definitely see you at the first game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button. Got to remind you all, I beat Calvin in fantasy football this week, and it feels good. Thank you guys for watching. Go Kings.